Hey, my name's Adam and I love the news.
Wrong. You are fake news.
The news is fake.
Correct for once, Mr. Trump. Hey, I'm Chase and I have a love-hate relationship with the news. Sometimes it seems useful, but when we have Facebook, Twitter, and blogs, do we still need journalists? And on top of that, how can we even tell what is true or just fake news? I think it's time we all had a bit of a lesson in media studies. So the first newspaper ever printed in little old New Zealand was on the 18th of April in 1850 by a guy called Samuel Revans. The New Zealand Gazette was all about reporting on life in the colony on behalf of the New Zealand Company, but the news has changed just a little bit since then. Today, news outlets have three main jobs and roles they play in society. The first being to inform all of us on what's going on in the world. Pretty obvious, right? You read or watch the news to learn about what's going on out there. Knowing what's happening in our country and the world rather than just within our family or school helps us be better informed and engaged people. Now their second job is to set the agenda and help us decide what we need to know. Unsurprisingly, a whole lot happens each day, and as a result, there's a ton of information out there. It's a journalist's job to decide what to report on and inform us about so we can be engaged with the right issues. It'd be bad if we only heard about what happened on The Bachelor this week and missed out on any news that we're planning to build a foot and cycle path along the harbour bridge. Journalists bring attention to what is important at any given time. Finally, journalists serve all of us by being a check against those who are in power. It's their job to investigate and report on decisions the government makes that could impact you. This is called a free independent press, and it's kind of important to democracy here in New Zealand. But how can we tell what is true and what is fake news? It can be tricky now that we get the majority of our news online and information can be spread really quickly with social media. Journalists have this thing called a code of ethics where they promise to only publish information they believe is true. But not everything online that looks like news is written by people with these standards. Before believing something and sharing it with your friends, you've got to ask a couple of questions. Is the URL from a news organization you recognize? Does the headline look too insane to be true? And are any other news organizations sharing the same story? If it seems too crazy to be true and no one else is sharing the same story, chances are it could be fake news. What isn't fake news, however, is an opinion you don't agree with. It's more important than ever that we discuss not only what we believe, but also why. And good journalism plays a pretty big role in this. So whether you get news on your phone, on TV, or in a big old newspaper, why don't you thank your local journalist? What they do for a job ends up helping out all of us, making us better informed and educated people. I'll catch you later.